All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Map number 2 about to get underway as we see Furia, GamerLegion now on to Vertigo. The map, what probably holds the most uncertainty for this team, or for both of these teams, the way that they were able to play on Inferno. But of course, if we dive into the second map, joined by Over as we finish off not only this semi-final, but grand final to come later this evening as well.
Indeed, that is true. It's going to be, of course, Knock that's going to be shut down first. Second, Scream, of course, the first one, but it still is going to be an advantage Furia will be keeping in their hands right now. It looks like Hampus will return for one. But this is Vertigo we're talking about, a map that does favor the T side quite a little bit. With the change made to A side, it does kind of give you a bit of a better position to work with Able J. He certainly heard the step, and now he knows this is a B play. Able J hiding behind the corner finds one. Hampus got another kill on A once more. It's a 3-on-2 existence, though. He revealed his position with that smoke being thrown. He's going to check the corner, and he's going to win the duel. Able J down, back to a 2-on-2. Queserato, he's made his way through NBK, and he's ready for the fight. Hampus, though, he's so delayed. He needs to survive longer. Existence that was, but unfortunately, that should be the round pretty much closing out for GamerLegion, as Furia will be able to easily get the round.
Furia, there it is, they'll lock it down. Going to be seeing that CT side already finding that instant success, and this is going to be working out good for them. Obviously, with the defeat they just took in Inferno, they'll be wanting to bounce back quickly, wanting to ensure that that doesn't happen again, especially considering that this is a side that, I think, coming into the game itself, we thought should have been maybe a quick 2-0 or a 2-0 in itself with some maybe closely battled maps. But in GamerLegion, they have massively impressed us on that first, and they'll be looking to do exactly the same into the second. Nork at least able to trade back the Queserato. Damage done to Art as well, but it does leave Nork down on 13 points of health. Scream to find one more onto Yuri. This is where it starts to get a little difficult for Furia, even with Nork down to 13 points of health, just with the man advantage that GamerLegion can work with. This is where it does start to get a little bit risky for the CT side. They will boost up players over toward that window position, however, see what they can gather from the info, and finally will be spotted out. Able J sat inside of the smoke toward the B bomb site. This is where maybe see the support coming through from Furia. HS getting ready, and with 1:05 left on the clock, GamerLegion, they could even back away and pull off towards A if they wanted to, but they seem pretty dedicated up to now about focusing toward this B bomb site. There is a flank coming through, but I think they're wholly aware of this.
They should be aware. I mean, they have the defense set up for this kind of incursion. Although GamerLegion is taking a lot of time. They really are trying to bide their position as much as they can. Flank going back, not really going for the flank. It was kind of confusing for a second there. It's going to be back to all 4 players moving straight for the play on through ramp. Actually, it's Hampus to the mid. My bad. Never mind. But all 3 players from Furia are on site, and they're going to be ready for the take. Able J spots at least 1 or 2. I'm not sure. And it's going to be HS. An immediate punish. A headshot onto Scream doesn't finish him off. The bomb will be planted in time. It's Vinny. Close range. He's going to push in, get the kill. And that's going to make things a little bit easier. Furia have still got an AUG on Art. 2 players very low. Oh, Hampus, though, from behind. 100 HP player dies. And it's going to be a 1-on-2 clutch round. Art gets 1. Back to a 1-on-1. Scream. Oh, and he sees the shadow. He sees him through the smoke. Or at least he sees the shadow through the smoke. And that's going to be round ending. Furia able to pick up a pretty important victory overall. But a close call by GamerLegion. They've almost made it into a victory.
Yeah, putting it very close there, Furia. That will keep them at least with a second round on the board, but it could have seriously gone the other way if GamerLegion would have found at least 1 more kill. But luckily for Furia, that wasn't the case, although this time, GamerLegion, of course, able to go for a buy round of their own. A couple of rifles, even Existence down to a little to work with, but Scream on a Deagle, Nork on a Scout himself, so a bit of a weaker setup than what GamerLegion would have liked at this point, but it's definitely a scenario that they can work with. HS, will he expect they are looking for info? I think he definitely did spot him out now, and with And Able J on the back of this bomb site, looking for at least the information to be had. It's Furia that wants to play more passively this time. Hampus, though, tagged and leg down to 16, but not yet finished off. That's really unfortunate, but finally, second shot, second time of asking, doesn't miss there. First kill onto Hampus, and that opens it up. This should be now at least a little bit more easier for Furia to manage, but even so, the 5v4 and plenty of time for GamerLegion to work with. They can anchor their way around toward this B bomb site, especially if Scream can maybe cause a diversion with these pistols. Even going for the jump shot there with Nork. Little cheeky play on the scout. 45 on the clock though, and Yuri, as he takes down Existence, that all but confirms that the Furia team should be taking this round as their own. Able J again playing such a similar position, but once again he's able to work with it. That's the round itself, and Furia, they'll be going up 3-0 on the CT side.
Perfect start. Pretty darn good. They keep 5 players alive as well. Establishes for them a little bit of bank to fall onto if needed. Scream tries to check behind, or the flank at least. Doesn't really succeed. Well, I mean, that is success in a way to get information, but he dies. And Knock a 1-on-5. He's looking to save the SG, obviously. 0 bank, 0 money. Means that even if he does survive, he's going to have still more in his inventory by the time of the next round, rather than having just the max loss bonus, or the loss bonus itself. But it's going to be at least an SG brought into the next. Bit of a comfortable position Furia is starting to build for themselves. This is Vertigo we're talking about, and we were both, you know, in a way, yeah, they have a 100% win ratio, but on the other side, it's still Vertigo. It's still a map that even GamerLegion have prepared for, and I'm excited to see what they've thrown in the mix, what they will throw in the mix coming in the next few rounds. This should be an eco, and it is, as expected. GL though, do they use the SG in their favor, or is it just going to be wasted away? Certainly for Hampus, it's already a bit of a waste.
It looks like already GamerLegion, they will be dropping out of this round fairly quickly. The Desert Eagle's not going to particularly providing too much. Like you said, the SG can be worked with, but Able J, again, he's switching up his positions constantly here on this B bomb site, and as soon as any sort of T opposition want to try and approach, it should be difficult to do so, although Nork, as he catches out Yuri, a nice little boost for him to make, and even looking for a second as well. Grenade to come flying through, and Able J somehow still keeping himself alive back of the electric pillar, but a missed shot by Art, and that will see Nork taking himself a second. Able J luckily provide a return frag, but still into a 3v3, make it a 3v2. The support out of Keserato is there, and a Scream able to trade. It won't matter too much. Furia, they take that 4-0, and GamerLegion, as they now were able to put a buy on the board. Some decent damage done, what we would call an eco round, but still Furia keeping it clean so far, and that 4-0. Looking for more as GamerLegion now bringing out the big guns in round number 5.
Certainly not a bad eco from GamerLegion, but it's time to shine, boys, and it's time to bring your best on the table. Otherwise, you're looking to be losing the first half quite convincingly in a manner of at least 5 or more rounds. And right now, it's a bit hectic. It's a bit messy. It can be improved. It can be bettered. But the problem will be persistent for GamerLegion when it comes to T side. They don't really have the time to change the core issues of their gameplay, or at least, you know, the ones that come after when you clean up the mistakes of just going solo to peak or losing duels. And that's tactics, that's coordination, that's timing and everything. Oh, the FPS is so bad. Oh,
it's that again, boys.
Yeah, we've got a 5 FPS stream, boys. Hurrah. Oh, it's fixed for me at least. Looks fixed. So there's better. But yeah, GamerLegion. They've got the op, they've got the AKs, the SGs. Let's see what they make out of it. It looks like they might want to taste B again, but it's a bit of a critical one. Hampus again down to 14 though.
Taking some damage so far during these opening gun rounds, especially. That will see him. He's trading back the AWP. He wants to use that better for the overall team structure that he is. Low HP and on that sniper, but Furia so far. A solid sight hold, and again, it's Able J. He's just constantly switching his positions. It's really, really nice to see as he's finding new angles to work with, keeping it fresh, making sure GamerLegion cannot predict where he's going to be in these coming rounds. And Yuri, he wants to try and interact as well. Caesarato finding the 1-on-2 existence. Nork at least able to return fire pretty quickly, but with Hampus still down low and that ET side having the man advantage, make it 2 as Able J to close down Scream. The round should be now going in their favor. Hampus not able to complete the no-scope. Nork's position now being given up, and there is Art to finish the celebration. On a Furia as well, 5-0, and GamerLegion back down to square one. Now the round loss bonus is at maximum, so we'll see them with a little bit of cash to work with, but in the round itself, GamerLegion not been showing us all too much. They have a couple of kills between them, but overall it has been Furia dictating the majority of the pace, and rightly so. Their CT side is usually very, very solid on this map, and overall in general, Furia will be again looking for that clean 6-0 to go into this second map with, and really want to hit home on revenge so far. And Able J again finding the entry kill to open up the round. 5v4, and GamerLegion majoritively going to head toward the B-bomb site, A-bomb site up toward ramp, and might even boost the player over. This would be nice to see if they can find an ulterior angle, but I think Nork might have even been heard on the drop down there.
He's been heard, yeah, he's been heard, 100%. They should have immediately be aware that somebody's there. Most likely a boost attempted but failed, which is in itself a bit of a thing, you know, how do you fail that? But Winnie, he's going to find himself one. It's beautiful. Another compliment. The kills already gathered. Scream, nice return. Back to a 1-on-3. He heard the player behind him drop down, so he knows somebody's in the flank, and he's going to be getting the second. Unfortunately, the timing could have been worse, and Caesarato positions himself perfectly. And look, Scream, he's detailing something to Hampus perhaps, or maybe Knock, not sure. Perhaps the way they engage. And the one thing I've noticed, Hampus consistently dies on A early on, or at least gets damaged early on. That, for me, is a problem that you can immediately solve. Simply do not go towards a ramp, and do not try and die consistently on top of it. Even if you want to get entries, there's a different way at getting entries. By the way, HS, man, he looks so... He's like a character from a movie.
Yeah, I love his tats. Like, over time, you've seen them grow as well. Like, in photos that he has at LANs, when he started, he had like a little one, and then, yeah, he's got like the hand tats now. Love it.
For me personally, tattoos are a bit of a, you know, if I do want to get a tattoo, if I'd ever want to get one, I'd probably put it somewhere nobody can see it, just because it's just a tattoo for me. But yeah, to each his own, and definitely that's a lot of money if nothing else. I know how expensive they are, right? If nothing else. But damn, Scream, yeah, we see that replay pretty well played out. We done pretty nicely, at least attempt of a nice clutch. Pistols and Kevlar not going to be bought up. Instead, it's AKs and Galils. Not really particularly fond of the buy like this. GamerLegion, they're down 0-6, and it's not exactly a perfect start for them, is it?
Not again. It's Hampus, the first initial death of the round, and Scream soon to follow. Beautiful peek out of Able J, even with HS to return a frag. It's not going to really make too much of a difference. Finally, existence to pin him down at least. Nork, hit aggression to be shown. Vinny, not even doing anything wrong particularly, just beautiful positioning out of Nork, and yeah, Art able to finish him off at least, and down into a 1 versus 2. Both players of Furia coming from exactly same angle on the retake. Plenty of utility on the hands of Art. I'd love to see him drop that molly and try and force existence out of position. Well, there it is, exactly. Caesarato waiting for that bait and switch, and a beautiful retake coming out of Furia. Calm, collected, and seal the deal. 7-0. GamerLegion now starting to really feel the wrath of Furia here in map number 2, and with a single round away from cleaning up that first half already. A rebuy to come from GamerLegion at least. The AKs to be invested, but just with the overall stance of Furia and the way that they've been playing, they've looked much better than we've got to say on Inferno. I think Inferno must have been them realizing that they can't underestimate GamerLegion. Now coming into Vertigo, they will start to hit home, and especially with how good this B site holder's been. Able J and Caesarato, they've been locking it down every single round, and this time GamerLegion, I think they've realized this will be a full dedication toward that A site early. HS to pull back a little bit though, and toward this mid position. Vinny with a beautiful lookout angle. If he can spot a player or two, might give them some really good info. And yeah, this gap in the smoke could have been really nasty for GamerLegion. Scream already dropped down to 43 as well. He's going to try and work with it again. I think his head was spotted that time though.
Yeah, definitely had. But as you said, GamerLegion push towards B has consistently been unsuccessful. And well, HS, he's going to find the entry this time. HS boosted up, finds 2. That's it. That's what they needed. And finally, a spark of life comes towards GL. And HS, okay, he's making up for that bomb drop on Inferno. And a hat trick will be enough at least for 1 round. GamerLegion, they will find themselves victory as soon as they go A. And I have to say, they should have tried A lot sooner. It is statistically easier to take A than it is B. Just simply because the angles are so much better for the T side, or if nothing else, the angles are a little bit easier to take for the T side with the AKs having that, you know, better dual capabilities. But GamerLegion, this is only the 1 round. This is only the first of many needed to come. If they would be getting, say, 5-6 rounds, then that's a pretty solid half. They can't close it closer than that.
For sure, and especially with GamerLegion now just putting that first on the board, at least to make them a little bit more confident, a little bit more less anxious as they come into these next couple. Again, not going to be onto that AWP Furia. Was being able to bring back the rebuy this time, just for the fact that they have 7-round differential, or at least did. This time it is going to be GamerLegion that want to be the side that can now 8 consecutive rounds. We can't be seeing them win this one or win the previous, then lose these next couple. That's almost as worse as not winning a round to begin with. You'd be put back down to square one, and that's what we can see Furia looking to try and make happen. That would really sell the first half for them. Surely to be double figures gain, and that would almost kill off GamerLegion before the second half was even coming to light. But fortunately, that T side is, you know, mentally strong as they are. They're not a side that'll be giving up all that easily. Get back live again. The eco round's not going to be averted just yet. Fury, you can see the bank is really lacking from them. Art, I do like this position, though, able to walk across top pillar, get himself the opening, at least nice position to work with. But love the fact that GamerLegion, they're slowing down entirely now. They realize that they can find success toward that A bomb site, and it's something that they're wanting to employ again for round number 9. Existence even holding the back lines as well, so they are definitely set up and prepared for this. Nork on that AWP with a bit of CT side aggression wanting to be shown toward this post ramp position. Nork lucky to be alive. Flashbang keeps him safe, but that'll see Furia now adjusting to that setup, and with 1:05 left, GamerLegion will begin to adjust themselves for the rest of this round with plenty of utility left for this side take.
It's gonna obscure the chances of GamerLegion, and right now, unless they can get an entry within the next 10-15 seconds, time will be ticking dry. Now, GamerLegion, they've got the op on Knock. So far, he's yet to be accurate, and HS will lose his life. Another bomb drop. People might already start complaining about his bomb drops. As Knock is still chasing for that refrag. The Molotov fails as well. AbleJ takes down Hampus and Furia. They will clean house. Knock 1-on-4, no chance. A single kill, that all that happens in GamerLegion. They're unable to close out a secondary round, and that will confirm they at least are able to get themselves another bite. But this is turning out to be a pretty disastrous first half. They chose Vertigo, yet in the end, they are unable to perform on it at all.
This is starting to really ask questions of just how solid the GamerLegion are going to be in not only the rest of this map, but potentially the third that might be almost coming in the next couple of series. But yeah, with the way that Furia been able to control so far the pace of this CT side, already able to win that first half with the minimum rounds required. You can see the buy rounds of GamerLegion, they're not even going to be as extensive as they'd like either. Existence is down to that Desert Eagle, so a lot of money to be lost by that T side this time. Hampus able to take out Vinny, but not before being tagged down to 9 points of health. That will see at least some damage returned. And AbleJ, he wants to try and get aggressive through the smoke, not particularly too sure why. However, that sacrifices him. And down into a 5 versus 3, GamerLegion. A beautiful site take so far, although Art is able to trade back Hampus. And into a 4 versus 3. There is a flank coming from Art himself, although as Further man dies. That will see Fury pulling away and Art looking to do the same, but he's kind of trapped in the corner for now. But it seems like GamerLegion, they'll be finding themselves a second round here on the T side.
Indeed they will, and better late than never, I guess, is the best saying we could put up here. Art's looking for perhaps an exit frag and knock. He's aware of the angle he has to take. It's an easy shutdown, and yeah, 2 rounds. It's starting to be grinded together once more, although GamerLegion, it's a long way before they can call this a successful first half, and it's not yet been completely turned on its head by Furia at least, so they have a chance yet to remain competitive for the first half. It could still end 8-7. Even 9-6 would be an acceptable half after what they've gone through up to this point. But Art drops down, gets 1. They will get the refrag, at least this time. Knock. The first shot, the first kill. It's going to put an end to the push for Furia, and the refrag was vital. GamerLegion with it. Can adjust their plays, and Art, okay, there's the catch. Now the fallback from GamerLegion should be coming out. 1:28 seconds. There's more than enough time for GamerLegion to not need to aggress onto different positions. They can gather the storm and just hit it together. And they seem to be going for B. It's all on Able J. We've been hyping him up all this time. Can he stop this round? Can he put Fury on 9? No. Immediate answer comes out. And Yuri, UMP, shouldn't be really doing much in MBK.
Especially with Keserato able to find 1. The trade very quickly made in return, though. Predicting existence, trying to dip and dive between this close pillar position. And there he does, gets the round confirmed, 8-3. GamerLegion starting to now grind these rounds back. If, like you say, with the way that they've been able to whittle down that CT economy now with the T-side rounds that they've gained, there is definitely a world where GamerLegion can put 4, 5, 6 on the board potentially to round off this first half. And the way that this T side, we know that they can play on CT. We know it's their comfortable side to finish a game on, or at least to be more profitable in a game on themselves. But yeah, GamerLegion so far, they can string these rounds together, which they're definitely looking to be doing now. There should be a 4th at least confirmed by that T side, and GamerLegion showing that they can once again, or once can beat Furia, they can look to do it again. 16-11 on Inferno is no hard or no easy task to get from GamerLegion, considering Furia. It's one of their better maps. HS this time, the dispatch of 2. Able J at least to return fire of his own, but HS to close down again. A 4 versus 2, even with Art able to trade, shouldn't be grabbing too much out of the round itself. Maybe just go and save the AK, carry it into the next round at least, but that will be a 4th most likely on the board for that T side, and we're actually making decent moves right now on Vertigo T side.
Yeah, certainly succeeding well enough already. If they're able to at least put themselves half away from Furia, it's going to make things a little bit easier. Art is looking for exit tracks. He wants to damage the economy. He wants to make sure that they don't transfer too many rifles to the next round and establish an economy of their own to punish Furia with. One thing to mention, as long as Nock doesn't have his AWP, it will remain to be a complicated manner for GamerLegion, as his AWP is crucial in my mind for GamerLegion. It's always been a staple for them, and with that up, he was able to close out games, close out rounds, and more specifically, just, you know, be such a nuisance to every opponent they've been facing that they found no way of stopping him. In any case, a tactical pause, I would presume it's by GamerLegion, perhaps even. If that's the case, I'd be happy to hear it.
Especially considering, you know, that Existence is definitely a leader that listens to his coach. He never used to be. He was always in the mind that in-game leader is in-game leader. And I do everything. Yeah, coach just does the research and I lead the team. But since coming into GamerLegion, he's actually really developed as an in-game leader. I think more that he's now realized that at this tier he has some solid talent to work with, like Nork when he picked up Nork and Hampus, and HS to come into the team as well and reunited with old boy Scream. He's definitely adapted as an in-game leader, and it's nice to see because of being stuck in his ways for a long time with G2 and such. It is great to see Hampus in Existence. That's what we want to see out of them. Ripping open Art and Vinny. And that's going to see at least a 5 versus 3. That CT side, they don't even want to interact right now. They're going to go for the save, and that's GamerLegion making an 8-5. T side really starting to hit home again. Considering that Furia had a 7-2. GamerLegion being able to make 3 rounds off of the back of that before Furia, or only if Furia have put 1 on the board, just shows that they are definitely attuned to playing Vertigo, and just needed, you know, a little bit of settle time for them coming into the second map, because Furia, we can't deny they started really well on this map, but once GamerLegion did get a little settled, that is where we started to see the most success out of them, and Furia, they haven't really had too much to respond with.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say they haven't had much to respond with. It seems like they're being caught in a storm a little bit, not really having an answer immediately for it. I have no doubt in my mind that the next round will not be broken. If it's going to be an A play, GamerLegion will be denied their take of it. But I like the fact GamerLegion started to switch it out a little bit. You know, they're not just hitting 3-4 times in a row B, but they're starting to mix it up with, we hit twice A, we go once B, we go back towards A, you know, trying to be surprising and trying to catch your opponent off guard, because even Furia have to predict in a little manner as to what will come their way. They need to, of course, they extrapolate their data from the information gained by their players, but for the most part, they still have to kind of a tiny bit of gamble to where to put their players, what kind of setup to run to make sure they have the best chance of winning. And that's a very hard thing to succeed in. And the round, it's... Wait.
We missed, like, the entire round somehow.
What the... What?
Like,
hello?
The camera was still on the arena. We just missed the entire round.
Oh, my God. You gotta be joking me, right? That was a crucial round. That was one of the most vital rounds for Furia, because that actually allows now to GamerLegion that they go up to 8-7. It actually allows GamerLegion to be at an advantage. How the hell do we... Oh, my God. I get a little bit hot-headed here. I'm sorry. No, it's just... Come on, guys. We need to do better than that.
Final round of the first half, and Furia, you can see that GamerLegion, they've really started to take their toll on them right now. They have very little to put into that buy round, with a UMP on the hands of Abel. JR already dead in this round as well. That's going to be a nice opener by Nork, and this should be really seeing Furia finding themselves 8-7. Oh, sorry, GamerLegion finding an 8-7. I think that's such a successful endeavor to have, considering the fact that we started at a 7-0. GamerLegion, they've showed us massive success to only allow Furia to get 1 round, and what a clean way to end it so far. A 5 versus 3 with only 54 points of damage inflicted. Finally able J to respond. Respond he does with a double at least to lock out the A site for now, but Plant already going to happen through those smokes. He will look to approach at least, but down to 5 HP and can't be as nimble as he would like to be. Yuri has to be the man that brings all the light to fruition in this round, and definitely shouldn't look like that is happening. He's already been spotted. They know now that he will try and come in from the back lines of Castle at least, but GamerLegion locking this down 8-7. This has been a very good response out of them, although Abel J, he might try and go for the ninja right now. Why not? Fortunately, yeah, not going to happen. Yuri finding at least the frag in return, but there is Existence closing it down 8-7. And what a performance out of GamerLegion, considering what the round could have been with how strong that Furia started.
Very much indeed, yeah. What a performance. How well they've been able to pull it off, given that Furia looked like they might just take this map very quickly. Now, I am excited to see how it all turns on the half, how it all goes. GamerLegion 8-7. It's probably the best half they could have hoped for given the circumstances. They were down, what, 7-0 or 6-0 before the first round, I believe?
Yeah, it was like 6-0, 7-0.
7-0, yeah. So, yes, it was 8-1 before they actually started their victory run. And that's when I said they have to climb the ladder, and they do it. It's a successful return. GamerLegion, CT side Vertigo. We've already praised their CT side of Inferno enough. I think there will be no need to do that on Vertigo. They'll show it themselves. And I hope to see some nice tactics, some nice decisions being made, because otherwise they'll be quickly punished and quickly made up for by Furia. It looks like it's going to be a B play, though. All Furia gathering in front of B stairs. And here comes the execution. Smoke failed, as far as I can tell. And that's going to be HS holding back sight. There is, of course, Knock close range behind quad as well. HS will fall. And Knock holding the line. He's reloading the Knock. He's got like
Existence.
8 bullets. And Existence, though, 3.
Oh.
Whoa, okay. That's going to work out. Hampus finds one more. And that's going to be a 1-on-1 Existence. This is the clutch round that can work it out. Scream, actually, a 2-on-1. But still, Scream saves the day. And it is going to be GamerLegion barely pulling it together. We kind of missed those kills from Existence, didn't we? This like immediately landed into his perspective for the last one.
Yeah, but beautiful play from him. Existence, not really a man that you associate with pistols, really. Able to bring 3 to light this time, and that's going to see GamerLegion at the 8-8 mark. They've tied things up now here in the series. This, we'll see how good that Furia are. Vinny to open the round up and nearly had himself the double, but we see the perspective of Existence. There's the first, a rapid second as well. Get to see the third, but a very, very nice play from the in-game leader of GamerLegion. And so, Furia now down to their eco. They will be able to fall by into the next. And Nork at least trying to support his teammate. Does at least let HS die, but there's Scream and Nork to be able to respond. Existence back with this support as well. This should at least be a 9-8, although Vinny, he finds one more in return. Hampus able to close out. Scream to do the same. Keserato, last man alive, 9-8, and GamerLegion, for the first time in this second map, they're going to be taking the lead.
Not just the lead, they'll be taking this one pretty easily. It's going to be 9-8, and, well, Furia, this will hurt them a little bit. It'll be a bit of a painful jab in the wrist, or in their body. But we'll see if they can work out some sort of a solution. They've got a buy coming up. This buy might just make all their troubles go away. Let's see how it works. Finally, the round is here. And GamerLegion, they've got an MP9 on Hampus. The rest equipped with pretty good rifles as a whole. Furia, though, they're not sparing any expenses. No up, unfortunately, but yeah, Vinny, that's it. That's what we needed to see, Furia. With the push from Hampus, it works out, and that's a waste. See, that's a problem. Hampus, why do you go to die? Why would you push to try and get an entry early on with an MP9 when you can work with your friend, try and duke out a duel, and you still get an advantage? Knock in Existence. Unfortunately for Existence, back to a 3-on-3. Furia, the bomb is dropped in T-base. I'm not sure what exactly they're planning here. Knock will punish the push from behind. Yuri will be caught. And it's Abel J and Vinny left. Furia, this is their gun round. It's about to collapse on top of them. Abel J, goodbye. And it's HS Knock and Scream. They should have no issues with this one. Although Vinny, 1-on-2 in 55 seconds.
Hey, he does have the bomb in hand as well. That's definitely going to be helping him to work out. But with 45 approaching on the clock, we will see the rotate from Scream out toward that A site. Will be there before Vinny arrives, most likely. Yeah, both of them going to be hitting that rotate as well. Snork playing close to the bomb site. If Scream gets the info, that's all they need. Damage to be done. There's Snork for the bait, and that's beautiful. GamerLegion, they're taking the lead. Double figures already on the board for them, and now with Furia not getting a bomb plant, they should be back down to another eco. We are seeing a whole nother side to this GamerLegion squad. The composure that they're bringing to the server on this LAN has been absolutely incredible. I think it's at least 2 times better than what we've seen out of GamerLegion so far, and we've watched them, we've casted them win an online event.
Yep, that's the thing, right? They're showing up. They're giving us the performance we wanted to see from the get-go, from whence they started to play. And as you said, online they've had more troubles than anything, and right now it seems like they're resolving them within the game itself, within the rounds and between the rounds themselves. Even though it's not perfect, it's going to work out at least for a little while longer. I believe Furia will be going on to an eco right now. So that's another round to GamerLegion. And of course, Furia, pistols and Kevlar, not exactly an eco, but not exactly a buy as well. And unless GamerLegion make the same mistake with Hampus pushing deep, or anybody else for that matter, they should be able to keep this round alive and together, which matters the most. They have the advantage. Now it is the time to play carefully, to know what to do. And hey, chess, there's the entry. That's it. Fall back, play like Furia in this case. You don't need to aggress anymore. You've got your entry. You've got your golden ticket.
Exactly what they need. They don't have to do anything else up to now. Furia already going to be significantly weaker just for the lack of the high round that they don't have at the moment. And GamerLegion, once they have put that first on the board, there's nothing else that they have to do to look for the kills themselves. They'll come flooding towards them once Furia find the urgency to head toward a site. Nice close angle to be taken, at least by GamerLegion, and the beautiful flashbang, but Scream to be sacrificed. Art down to 19, so at least some damage to be inflicted, but... And so, Hampus looking for some info of his own. There's HS, Hampus closing down the kills, and as they spot one of the remaining men, Distance able to get the job done. Yuri left in a 1 versus 4. There is Hampus in existence, both being considerably low, but... So now with a 4-man differential, or 3-man differential to find, should see GamerLegion taking round number 11 for them and really starting to bring it to Furia now. If they can't do anything in their next gun round, that is really going to see some shaky times out of the Brazilians. Yuri at least a refrag onto Nork. Only 17 seconds left. HS to get the job finished. 11-8 and Furia back onto their full gun round now, and this is the round they have to prove to us. Vertigo is still going to be at least competitive toward the end.
Well, that's it, right? That's the thing. Vertigo. Furia started off so good. We were already halfway with the leg in the water, thinking this might be it. This could be the end of GamerLegion for the second map, and then anything can happen going into the third. But overall, this is pretty much as good as it gets here. GamerLegion, if they can keep this progression up, if they're able to shut down the next few gun rounds as well, that's how it all can play off in their favor. Give them potential 13 and really propel them towards a potential victory, a 2-0 victory that I did imagine after they won Inferno. But it didn't seem realistic to me that they would be able to pull a 2-0 win so easily. 11-8. But it looks of it, an A play coming up from Furia. The bomb. It's coming a bit later in. By the looks of it, all 5 players are there. Okay, Serato finds Scream. This is the play coming in towards A. GamerLegion, the rotation is ready. 3 people defending the site. A minute left on the clock, give or take. Benny's gonna push in first. Spots one. It's gonna be Hampus that wins the duel, though. Hampus holding the line, a double. Okay, Serato shut down existence beforehand. And Hampus, he's still alive. The Molotov will not spread on towards him. And there's the op shot in Castle. J will clear him out. Back to a 2v2 and a clutch round for GamerLegion.
And with especially rotate coming from along towards short, it's not going to matter though, as Furia finally close themselves down around the first of their T side. 11-9 on the board, and that will see GamerLegion finally being put to bed for now, but still. Great response out of Furia. Those smokes locking down the A site. We've spoken about how easy it is to secure that A bomb site, and Furia have to try and exploit that. They have to keep going onto that A bomb site because they know how easy it is to take. It was a nice try from Hampus as he were able to shut down those first 2, but unfortunately Furia just got the round locked out in their favor. Full eco to be taken by GamerLegion this time though. Surely there'll be double figures in the favor of Furia, and with already 2 players dead, that seems like exactly the case. 2 men under towards stairs though, something that Vinny is definitely aware of, and he's sneaking on by, looking try and find that info as he spots out the first. There's the second, a simple shutdown, and Furia 11-10. They are now a single round away from tying the score, and so the money of HS isn't going to be as strong as the rest of his side, so a weaker buy round to come, although a buy round nevertheless.
Yeah, that's true. A bit of a weaker buy, a bit of a dramatic position to play from, but at least they still have themselves a single round difference, which is the one thing that keeps them going. Now, they've got themselves the op on knock, the 2 AUGs, the MP9, the M4 as far as I can tell. I'm not sure about utility, but I presume they at least have a few smokes and hopefully a defuse kit here and there. But GamerLegion, they've already succeeded well enough in my mind. Even if this map closes it out with a loss for them, which is a possibility always that's going to remain in this kind of position, but they've already succeeded in my eyes. They've played very well up to this point. They've done a splendid job of winning Inferno. And Vertigo, as poorly as it started, they certainly are giving us one hell of a show.
Sure, I mean, even if Furia are to make the comeback win this second map, it's still going to be showing some very strong heart and confidence out of GamerLegion themselves. This time we can see the investment out of this CT side. It's going to work out for now. Nork able to open up onto Vinny. Going to be providing that initial frag. A boost up being made as well. Trying to give GamerLegion ulterior angles of entry. And there's Nork as he shuts down Art. Such a versatile AWP. And as he finds himself the double already. Going to start to seriously ask questions of how strong this T side can be once hardships really beginning to face them. Keserato hearing information out of Hampus burning in the molly, but even so, with the way that GamerLegion so far have been operating on the CT side, they are looking so incredibly strong. Yuri finally to refrag their one to existence. 4 versus 3 with plenty of time for Furia to or to work the round in their favor. With the fact that Nork again holding toward these doors, if Furia venture through these doors, if they open them up, that is surely instant death with Nork being ready to pick off, but still. Time is ticking. There is Hampus, shuts down a first, able to keep himself safe for the second. Finally to be shut down in return, though, in a 3 versus 2 that sees Furia already beginning to fall. Scream as he closes down Yuri. It's all down to Keserato. 50 points of health on him. I have that slight incline that he's not going to be surviving for too long.
Yeah, certainly will not, as HS shuts him down 12-10. And that's exactly what GL needed. With the victory here, they wake the beast inside. Their money will be spared the trouble of having to go through a rebuy. It certainly could have ended their entire map run. But with 12 rounds on the board, they again put themselves at least on a 2-round buffer, from which point they can start to... Yeah, it's looking pretty good. 11:40. AWP on Arc. Not sure what's going on right now. It's a bit of a slowdown by Furia by the looks of it. They're making their way towards A again, but doesn't seem they're only wanting to, push forward, trying to get the early pick. I love the fact GamerLegion are kind of trying to do the same. Yeah, this boost, this is going to work out. Scream. He gets the first kill, falls back, can't be refragged.
Aggressiveness out of HS in the smoke again. We've seen him do that a couple of times in recent times with the way that he was able to get through. But Scream, there's the boost, like you say. First kill to be found, and all they do is pull away from it. Vinny inside of the smoke himself. Hampus able to close out Keserato. Still the passive plays on the ace on the B-bomb site. Nork able to return fire, though. He's into a 1 versus 1 duo with the bomb carrier. It's Yuri. Has an SG in hand, so can definitely work with this, and does hear the footsteps of Nork as they approach, but if he outsmarts Nork right now, and definitely will look to do so, Yuri coming in from the flank positions as well, now into a 2 versus 2, and with Hampus on 12 points of health, will they deny the first player? No, it's there, Vinny closing it down. Scream having to try and bring a clutch to light, and in a 1v2 as he's already been found out. Gonna have a big task at hand, especially one of these players tucked inside of the smoke. At 12-11, looking like the outcome of this round so far. They might even try and bait him with the AWP on the floor to if they can draw out any response, but and he goes for the peek right here. I think he might have actually just been spotted. There's the first, and if he can take out the second, that'd be even better. There's no time to defuse. He can definitely deal damage on the exit, save an AWP, and he'll be on his merry way. 12-11, and Furia, they do keep themselves in close runnings. Scoreline again being pretty close here.
Yeah, once more, it is Furia trailing right behind GamerLegion. A long way before they can call it tie, but they're at least, 1 away. So, yeah. Furia, it feels like a long way, but it's actually not. And being this close to map and overall second map ending, it really is all on the line for kind of both sides, really. GamerLegion, with the success they've had at the end of the first half and with the few rounds they've been able to pick up in the second, they certainly are feeling very confident, and they want to close it out 2-0. They are aware of the fact that if they pull this to 3 maps, it could really turn against them, and in the end, it could all go down the drain, I guess, in a way. And Vinny, this is where he pretty much secured the victory. We can see with the replay. single-handedly almost clearing off B side. Tactical pause by the looks of it. GamerLegion perhaps even discussing their. Oh wait, the round is live as far as I can see on the PCs. Is it? Yes,
Yeah,
it
there
is.
we go.
Okay, we're back at it again. An eco round, of course, for GamerLegion.
And this is to give Furia the chance to now, or not even chance, the tie of the score, 12-12. Should be on the cards, and this will be giving that B side at least a boost of confidence. Go into the next gun round of GamerLegion with Nork on that AWP. Primary objective of him is most likely just to save this into the next round, as the money isn't going to be as extensive they would like it to be. Furia, like you said, with the fact that the map, if it was to be won by the Brazilians, I think unfortunately that would be the undoing of GamerLegion going into the third map. I think all the energy was being expended trying to win this second map and close out the series, that I doubt how much they'd have left going into the final, but that's only retrospect for now. Almost planted, 12-12 to be confirmed in the air. They'll go and protect Nork. They want to save the AWP into the next round, and rightly so. He will even do damage with it as well. Maybe to give another rifle to one of these CT players. That should be Scream taking it, although Art, he does trade out Hampus. They know now that the primary objective of GamerLegion is to try and save that AWP, something that Furia would like to deny, but probably not going to happen up to now. But still, Furia keeping themselves in the runnings, 12-12, and this is a vital round for both sides going into the next. Scream even able to take out Able J on the exit, looking for more, but unfortunately not going to get it.
Meant to be, yeah.
And there we go, tied up though in 12-12. GamerLegion, a vital gun round for them coming up.
Well, the lucky break is the AWP once more against Knock. As long as he has the op, he can remain competitive. He can shut down an entire push by himself almost. And I have no doubt in my mind that Furia will give him the respect he deserves for his quality. Because if you push into him too soon or too quickly and too dispersed, you allow for him to take trades freely, left and right, not really being challenged too much because of it. And we can see already that the round is live. 1 minute 45 seconds in. Existence sprays through the smoke. Tags onto Able J a little bit. A bit of a bait out and switch, and Existence will be caught trying to kind of defuse and faking it out in the end. Or excuse me, not trying to throw utility and being caught by Yuri. He is tagged down to 26, but the entry is Furious. That's the important part. That's where it matters most. And it could be a concerning factor that GamerLegion have not considered. The Furia will make their way towards B. Art refrags. HS falls. That's the only defender on B entirely so. Ooh, this is going to be close. They're rotating everybody off of A. This is a problem again, GamerLegion. They're making the same mistake VP did, rotating everybody off of the site. That could cost them their tournament, or at least this map live.
Scream. He's able to drop the bomb, luckily. Hampus, he'll take down Art as well. Back into a 2 versus 2. Luckily, is Able J going to return fire, but it's Hampus yet again, and it seems like GamerLegion going to be bringing the fight. Although, look at Yuri. He's been able to get behind these final 2 players, although time ticks. It seems like they might just become aware of it. It's all down to Nork, though. AWP in hand, and he won't miss the shot this time. 13-12. And GamerLegion, they keep up the pace this time. Furia, once again, facing the hardships of this CT side. They are looking incredibly strong right now, and the scary part is we go into the next round with Vinny on $1,500. Yuri not too far in front, the same as Ard, around $2,500. So it seems like up to now it will be GamerLegion. Whether or not they go for the force buy with how low that Vinny is, who knows, but right now it is looking like GamerLegion, they should be able to lock out a 14th round.
That's certainly something that's on the table. A tactical pause, presumably by Furia, discussing their chances, or more than anything, what the hell should we do right now? I'm kind of excited to see GamerLegion play this well. It really gives a good introspect as to what they're capable of doing and how well they're able to perform once they're under a lot of pressure. This is the LAN environment. It affects both teams, I guess you could say, almost equally. GamerLegion, they're certainly giving us their best show. 13-12, pistols and Kevlar. Furia, a few smokes, a few flashbangs. Not really much you can do with it, but an A attempt will be coming through it looks of the GamerLegion, yeah, they're well aware. There's a flank coming up from Existence. They know this is an A play, and they got everybody set up for this.
As soon as those smokes go down, that almost confirms it. Like you say, Hampus not going to rip them apart in this round. 13 slowly turning into 14. Some damage to be done by Yuri. Hampus down to 14 at least. There is Scream to get the job done. Keserato, last man alive in a 1 versus 5, and whilst he might be able to catch at least a player through the smoke on Existence's flank, he shouldn't really be delivering too much in the round itself. GamerLegion once again going to be bringing us such a beautiful response. 14 to 12, all 5 players now kept alive in this position. The fact that now that CT economy definitely beginning to build. Head into next round, going to be seeing Furia now back on to that repurchase. G to be forced up by Art as well. We'll see even a Galil in the hands of Vinny. That's going to be limiting to say the least. They do have the core rifles. Still going to be a very interesting setup, and I'm going to drop some early utility. Art even taking some damage in that Molotov. Maybe to try and bait Scream out with the sound cue potentially, but won't fall for that. He's too old and too wise for that. It's HS as he closes down Vinny. Scream to find a second. Oh my gosh, are we starting to see a repeat of the last or the end of Inferno, where GamerLegion, they really start to bring things home now?
It very much could be the possibility. We're seeing Hampus right now smokes himself off, stays in that heaven tower position. Scream on site. He's going to peek out. Keserato, of course, ready for that kind of engagement. He's hunting for those kind of kills and those kind of peaks. GamerLegion, they have the advantage. They don't need to blow it here. Hampus needs to stay alive. Hey, Chesto. Comes in behind, finds one knock, finds another one, and that's it. Keserato, and that's the end. 15-12. Furia.
They had like $1,800.
Yeah, they have like
$2,000 maximum.
They had $2,300, I believe, give or take, in between that, and even less than that for some players. And yeah, this could be the very end. Furia, this could be their elimination round right here, right now. GamerLegion, I said that if they win this, they go into the finals and win it all. Well, they might just as well. And match point, as we can see on the big screen even, GamerLegion, look at the aggression HS now expressing to finish this map as quickly as possible. Although we'll be punished by Art, so no need to be over pompous, no need to be cocky. You've already made it one step of the way. The only thing is the final 4 kills.
Time. 1 minute 20 approaching on the clock, and Vinny trying to play safe, but still it's Hampus. We've seen him make some mistakes in this game, over-aggressing, but that's one time where we'll let him off. He finds the first kill and backs away. That's going to really hit home right now for this Furia side. 1 minute 5 on the clock for them to work with, and GamerLegion, they're just 3 kills away from confirming their grand final spot against Wendigo. Yuri this time face off against Hampus as he looks to over-aggress, but not going to matter just yet, though, as still inside of middle. Damage to be done. 2 trades made by Existence. Oh, sorry, by the Enable J as they close out Existence. This is going to see a 2 versus 2. Looking to fire down at least, and Scream as he finds the first. There's the second. Furia